Are you saying you faked with me?
Yeah.
I just had sex, and it felt so good.
Wrong. Now you're single.
What do you know about sexual relations?
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
I'm a little worried about being a slut.
You're listening to the Come With Us podcast, presented by Darling Way, talking the good, the kinky, and the ugly. Here are your hosts, Beth, Aaron, and Tina.
Hello, hello, all you sexy holes and poles. Welcome to Come With Us podcast, where you're part of all the naughty, sexy, fun conversations that everybody else really wants to listen in on. I'm Beth Darling, sexy genius, head of sexyedschool.com, where smart, successful, and even spiritual people go for their graduate degree in love. If you go check that out, please use promo code PODCAST, all caps, for a 20% discount on all the courses there, including how to blow his mind while loving his body and the art of orally pleasuring her. It's my sexy pleasure to be here with y'all today, and of course, the hot and handsome Aaron, along with the bright red, pretty nail polish, all dolled up and ready to go Tina, as we dive into all things love, sex, and relationships. And namely today, Aaron, you're going to surprise us. I don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I use Reddit for very little boredom cure, but most of the time it's for radio show prep or prep for this show and stuff like that, just to keep up with what's in the know. And I stumbled across what's called a subreddit. So Reddit is just basically, so think of Reddit as a gigantic school. And each school has a different classroom. Every classroom is a different topic. There are classrooms on every fucking topic under the sun that you could ever think of.
Okay.
There's a topic for if you're a football fan. There's a topic for football. If you love one team in the English Premier League, there's an entire sub for them. If you are political, there's a whole political one.
Okay.
There's plenty of ones about adult topics and porn and sex and all that stuff.
Okay,
So while scrolling, I don't know why, I don't know how, but I clicked on this one, and it was a different type of porn subreddit that I had never, or the topic or the genre, I guess, is something I'd never heard of. And I've emailed this link to both of you. So now you guys can go ahead and open it up and open the second one, or open them both, but the second one actually describes what the heck you're going to see.
Wait, what's the second? What's the second one?
The second one is the description.
So
of what?
Worlds where women are willing, and then
it's
what
called
is
free use.
Anyways.
Yes.
So is that the first one, or is that the one we should be looking at?
Open up both of them. The first one is so you can browse and see what kind of stuff there is. Okay. The second one describes what it actually is.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, I'm guessing you mean that basically women are sex slaves. Or
not women, but women or men.
Available to. Oh, what is free use anyway? Okay, so wait. So just tell us, because I'm having trouble.
Or we could just read the definition.
Yeah.
Okay, where is it? I don't even see it.
Free use, because you guys know on Reddit, it's like r dash whatever subtopic it is. So it says r dash free use is a fantasy fetish subreddit. We're not here to talk about real world issues. We're here to share porn with a make-believe premise. We aren't planning on running around fucking strangers in public any more than BDSM enthusiasts want to actually impose and torture people. With that out of the way, how do we determine what is and isn't free use? Here's one definition. In a free use world, women are available for men to use sexually or the other way around or both, through the context, though the context can vary widely. In a free use smut, any man can walk up to a woman and do whatever he likes to her. A common standard in this fantasy involves women ignoring how they're used and our society as a whole treating it very casually. But this isn't always the case. This is very Brave New World-esque, right?
Wow.
Aldous Huxley. Here's another equally valid definition. Porn is considered a part of free use fetish if it takes place in a fictional place that has universal consent, since everyone is consenting all the time, and everywhere sex is common and socially acceptable as shaking hands. Interesting.
Yeah, basically when you browse through, you can, there's different pictures or I guess GIFs or stuff like that of just like random girls watching TV, and dude comes up and just starts fondling her, or dude's playing video games and she comes out and just grabs his dick and starts using it.
So I think it's really important that we first really clarify, like on this Reddit, it says, so what isn't free use? And it says, the first thing is anything involving rape or non-consent.
Yes,
so
this
obviously,
is all 100% consensual.
none of this is like, this is not going to give you an excuse to go up and like, you know, at all sexually harass anyone.
No.
You know, it has to be something that's consensual between two people. So,
Okay.
or whoever's involved, I guess.
Well, and so to start, this is pure fantasy. Unless you live.
Oh, do
like,
people
they're
not act
probably-
this out?
No, people do act this
Yeah.
out. That's why there are links of like people doing it in their personal lives and posting it.
Oh, okay. So it would be like living in a sex commune where like everybody agrees to be sexual with other people, and that basically.
Actually, this is kind of hot.
Yeah.
This is what I stumbled upon this the other day, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Because you've remarked before that you've gotten stuck in a porn wormhole on Reddit, and I was like, if Tina hasn't seen this, oh my god, this is gonna
But the first
awaken
one
a
is
whole
just
new.
like a girl who's like, I've seen these ones where like girls who are like playing video games while they're playing like video games, they're like gamer girls, they're getting like fucked from behind and stuff like that. Like where you're doing like, you know, more real world stuff, I guess, or, you know, not like it's kind of like ignoring it but I like the idea of like, you know, obviously it's consensual, like just someone
basically telling your partner
Yeah.
that, hey, anytime you want it, you don't have to worry about turning me on. Just come up and use it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
To a degree. But like,
Yeah.
basically. It's like, I feel like it's like some sub-dominant kind of thing. Like one person's probably more of like okay, I'm going to use the other person to me, generally.
Well, so I think it could be probably done in terms of real life. It could be done within a BDSM context because that is power. There are certainly in relationships a lot of, you know, one person, the submissive, will completely give over they'll give their permission to be used anytime the dominant wants and stuff. So it certainly could be there. But I think also that there are places like that are residential places where people live, and they really do have this agreement that sexual touch, sexual engagement is always on the table. I do believe that that they abide by like a safe word. So if you reach out for me and I don't want to, it's not like I can get mad at you for reaching out just without consent, but then I can say red and just stop it then. But, and then if you pursue, that's non-consent. But otherwise, I think and the same thing would be perhaps in swingers clubs where there are places where if you're in a designated area or on a designated, you know, a huge mattress thing, that you are consenting to be sexually touched or groped or whatever by other people in that setting with you, unless you decide to step out, in which case you always have the right to leave. It's not like you're stuck in there. But so I think these actually are kind of done on a regular basis.
I mean, I'm sure
That's
this is
interesting.
done inside households probably more often. Like between couples, I could see this done like a lot. Like I could see this, you have like a free use household or whatever you'd call it.
Which is good because it gets away from that fear of rejection.
Yeah.
You just know it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
I think you'd like that actually in your household, Aaron.
But then
I don't know anybody who wouldn't.
Oh, I definitely know people who wouldn't. I'm not sure a lot of people I know would like. I would definitely do that, but I'm always like, not always, but like, oh, well, see, here's
primed.
the thing is like, I am generally like have a high libido, but there are definitely some times when I don't want to have sex. Like, especially like if I eat like a huge meal or I don't feel well, you know, stuff like that. Like if you're really bloated or you're like sweating or like you haven't, I don't know, stuff like that. Like to me,
I just wouldn't like it that like, you know, if I'm planning on spending 2 hours reading a book or doing something, I wouldn't like to just be interrupted. I wouldn't like my schedule being completely interrupted at will by somebody else.
Well, that's why
that sort of silly
there's
thing,
actually
you know?
like an example here where like she's reading a book and like he just like bends her over the table that she's reading the book, like pulls her up out of the chair, bends her over the table while she keeps reading.
Oh yeah, that I like. That is fun.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so that's the thing. They're playful.
I mean, one
with that.
time,
kind of cool.
The guy I'm seeing now, like we were fantasy baseball drafting, and he'd like just bend me over the table, like as we were drafting our fantasy teams, like in the middle of it. So it happens, but you know, not like as probably all the time. Just get in the mood. You get in the mood.
Well, heck, I've been like kind of been fucked at the same time as reviewing some legal documents. You know, just really I have to say we did have to go back and review them when we weren't in the middle of fucking because I don't think we gave it our best attention. But yeah, that is kind of fun. You just get caught up in the moment.
Your billables.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my goodness. Yes, that is funny. So,
but yeah.
Oh my God. Here's one of a woman getting fucked on a public bus. So I'm wondering, like, where does this line get drawn between like people doing it in public and stuff? You know, I feel like
probably as long as you're willing to risk wherever it's illegal and wherever it's legal, which I don't even know if I could name places where that stuff would be legal.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just you're just like any other rule. Are you willing to risk it?
Here's a guy smoking a joint. I saw a girl playing video games. So I guess it's just like any really like real life kind of stuff. You just turn it sexual, or you're having sex or giving head or whatever.
So I think it brings to mind this idea. I mean, it's one thing if it's just between like you and your partner, but if it becomes this more widespread community, then it brings up the term sport fucking.
Okay,
right?
go on.
What's
Well,
that?
so sport fucking, and so people can think about making love, right? Where sexual, sexy fun is intimate and emotional and connective, versus sport fucking, where it really is just about the activity, the in the moment, and then move on. So, for example, like with strangers and stuff. So, like swinging, as a lot of times, if you go to a swingers club and just have sex with people that you just meet there and you never plan to see them again, I would say that's pretty much like sport fucking. You know, it's just, it is the joy, the excitement is just in that moment, having that sexual fun and then moving on and not having it be anything more than that.
Interesting.
So it would be kind of weird.
We need to actually have like a
So I just... Okay,
yeah,
go
we
ahead.
have to go. We have to go to the swingers club. So we're going to work on
there's
that.
this article that was written by, I don't know what Mel Magazine is, but they said it's anytime, anywhere, the growing appeal of the free use fetish. And this was written 6 months ago. So, and they're talking about how this woman who they're interviewing wakes up every morning with her roommate's dick pressing against her slumbering mouth. Groggy and barely conscious, the bespectacled brunette stretches her jaw to fit all the way, rubbing the sleep out of her eyes. A wake-up blowjob might not be everyone's preferred morning alarm, but Vixen loves it. She and her affably 32-year-old roommate, kink shame, have a consensual and long-running free-use dynamic, and they're allowed to have sex with each other almost whenever they want. So, yeah, it's...
So, yeah, apparently, maybe it's become so popular, that's why Reddit randomly just like, hey, look at this thing. I have no idea, but yeah, I'm not much like more introduced to this than you guys are, so that's why I sent it, and that's why like this is the most time I've spent on it. I just saw it and I was like, that's fucking weird.
This article actually says...
Oh yeah, but I like that you thought it was hot too, though.
I think it's hot. So this article actually says it depends on the people, but it's typically associated with willing women and horny men. It occurs in relationships between people of all genders and sexualities, but generally this is what it says: willing women and horny men. So if you can take that however you guys.
Well, but I will say also within the scheme of BDSM power dynamics, there used to be this place. It was in Europe, and they specialized female dominance, male submissives, and you would go there, and the men, when they were there, were slaves, and so therefore any man there was basically free use, and for all the women who would be there to use and enjoy. And it was like a quote slave training, sexual slave training place and something like that.
See,
yeah.
While I don't have any issues with that, I'm more so curious about like, because the logistics of it being the opposite way, where like she's just open and willing for him to do like whatever.
Yeah.
That's one thing, because like, yes, we can talk about, oh, well, if I'm not really turned on, I'm not going to get wet. Cool, they make lube for that. If in that kind of a situation, what if the dude can't get it up and she like...
Oh, then
is there punishment?
Yeah,
well, that's like, because that would make it even worse. Then I would think, because then it's like you're getting chastised already. Like you already probably feel like as a submissive, you would probably feel bad that you couldn't do it as a guy, because that's also really key to his fucking ego.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden you get chastised by this like that. That does not sound. That sounds stressful as shit.
Well, but it depends on what your kink is, right? Because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a turn on.
Oh,
for
I'm
guys.
sure all the guys there,
And-
but as a well, I'm not gonna say normal, but as a like that wouldn't seem up my alley.
Aaron,
That would.
I am so fucking proud of you. Actually, the fact that you stopped yourself.
I mean, I'm not normal.
And I appreciate that.
No one's
but oftentimes,
normal.
well, thank you. But still, that you. Anyway, that was good.
Am I closer to
We're
normal
all-
than those people? Probably,
Who
but
knows? Yeah, just had
but-
to be an asshole.
but
There,
that
but
was-
anyway, yeah.
But like that seems like a just giant pit of stress for me.
So
Yeah, but it's a turn on because they like the punishments as well. That's part of it, is being put in your place. It's being controlled. There is this dynamic that people get off on. It's a humiliation kind of thing. And anyway, yeah.
So there says there's 3 types of free use. One is like a no holds barred thing. So you can do it anytime, any place, outside, inside, wherever. 2 is the more milder one, which is like in private between like more like if you're in a monogamous or polygamous relationship, and it's limited to activities like vaginal sex or in blowjobs. And then 3, which is the most common, it involves a person going about their daily business, like cooking or cleaning work, and the partner has their way with them. More often than not, the partner getting used doesn't react. So those are like the 3 types, just to give you guys some more context. So I guess your FemDom thing and wherever this country is, FemDom. So that would probably go somewhere in between, maybe. I don't even know if you
No,
can-
I think that would be a different one. So
Yeah.
I think they start with those 3, but I think there are zillions of others as well. And again, just like anybody can do monogamy and it can look one way, and somebody can do polyamory and look a different way. So, but it is. So what about it turns you on? Like, do you like the idea of just being able to use somebody else, or do you like the idea of somebody
definitely
wanting
the
to?
other way around.
Yeah, of being used. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's just someone taking control. The idea of it's not like regimented, because I feel like sometimes sex can be like, or it's not boring. Like sometimes it can be
Right. Unexpected.
Yeah.
Okay. What about
I
the
did
part?
something crazy this weekend. Actually, I did something free use this weekend.
Okay, well, hold on. I want to hear about that. But so I don't forget this question. What about the part that says they can use you, and then what if you weren't supposed to react? Would that take it out? Because would you want it to be for your pleasure as well?
I would have a hard time not, at least I would have a hard time quelling all reaction. Also, I feel like I get the idea of like in the beginning not reacting, but like the whole time, to me, it seems a little weird.
I have a feeling, and I don't know.
It's just.
I have a feeling if you were like if that was part of your relationship, like it would be boring if they never reacted, like ever, like maybe once or twice.
I mean, I like to know that I'm making that person feel good, or they're having a good time. So if you're like reading a book or watching your phone, like I don't know. To me,
I feel like it's more of like an initiation thing, like hey, rather than having to feel like, oh, we're only going to have sex when we go out on date night or we plan it or something like that. It would be more of a, hey, you want it, come get it whenever you want. And by the time you're already midway through enjoying it, I'll start enjoying it too. Yeah.
And so I think the free use, though, for the person using somebody, I think part of the pleasure is that they're not worried about the other person's pleasure. They literally are just getting to do what they want, no matter what the other person is into or whatever. So I think there's that kind of selfishness, if you will, as opposed to, well, if I turn them on, then halfway through they're going to be like, okay, now I want mine. Like, no, like, I'm almost done. Whatever. I'm happy. Cool. I'm going to go back now and I don't know, do whatever I was going to do, and you keep reading your book. But I don't know.
Wow.
All right, so tell me.
Free use is like growing super fast, according to this article. Like it's because, especially in this like last year, especially with COVID, they're saying, because a lot of people have been like obviously stuck inside. They're talking about like OnlyFans channels that are like super popular, free use channels, like women. So maybe that's why. Maybe like because we've been like, stuck doing all these regular things at home. Now it's like, I don't know.
Well, and so, and I think about like somebody on a Zoom call getting orally pleasured by their partner, and they can't react because they're on a business meeting and stuff. And that is pretty hot, I think, for almost all of us, the idea. So.
Yeah. I mean, you could always say like the long running office fetish is kind of like, like bend your secretary over. Like, remember that movie, Secretary?
Oh yeah.
That was
I
kind of
thought
free use,
secretary
'cause,
was
like,
totally No. That was non-consensual though. No, because he used his power, and that's
in the end,
not free.
But I feel like, yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
no. So that's not free use. That's definitely BDSM, and it's control, but it's not just willing. Fully informed and fully equal power situation. So
Well, I don't think free use, because this says like free use has a huge, free use takes place within a BDSM can take place within a BDSM dynamic. This is what this
yes,
says.
but that's a willing one. So the secretary though movie, she didn't start out being like she was employed. She needed to do it for her job and whatever. So it wasn't. It was great fantasy, but it wasn't as informed consent that we would expect in real life. So.
Yeah.
It was, it started with, there was some emotional manipulation and power plays. Yeah. So, okay. So you want to tell us what did you do this weekend that was kind of free use?
I totally forgot until now.
Yeah. I love that she has these crazy kinky things and then totally forgets. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's so normal. I have so many crazy. Yeah.
The person I'm seeing now, we went to a baseball game, got kind of drunk, went out, came, and we parked our car in, and we're walking to get ramen, like really late, like, midnight ramen. And while
you are not telling people that you drove drunk though, right?
No. I didn't drive. So
you are not telling people that your partner drove drunk.
He was fine. We were fine. This is like the end of the night. We were fine.
Okay.
Anyways, we were like walking in the middle of the street. Oh yeah. We were walking in the middle of the street, and I like just pulled his pants down, like literally in the middle. It was like I don't know, you guys know, if you don't know anything about Houston is like it's like a lot of residential streets, and at night, like obviously there are a ton of cars, but where we live, it is like actually a pretty popular spot, but this is like a back street, and I just like gave him head in the middle of the street, like in like wow. I can't tell you, like this is there's a crosswalk here, and it was like 10
Did somebody
feet
catch you?
There was a car that came down, like we saw it's flashing. Obviously it was nighttime, so you could see any car coming down, but like I think they may have caught us like a little bit. I mean, it was short. It was like, I would say less than 30 seconds because I was scared. Yeah. But like it was literally in the middle like of a regular street outside a bunch of people's like townhomes.
See, I'd be afraid you'd get arrested, not even for public indecency, but for prostitution or something, right?
Because then they have to prove that. They can't arrest you for prostitution without proof.
Oh, okay.
So it would be just a public indecency.
There you go.
Oh, and I don't think I had a shirt on.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So we need to start putting a disclaimer at the beginning of this.
Yes, thank you.
Whatever Tina says, that doesn't mean it's life advice. It doesn't mean it's something you should try on your own unless you are fully willing to risk things that are really bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you end up in the clink, I ain't bailing your ass out. I don't care. Like, you do whatever you want, but have fun with it. But the second a cop shows up and goes, "What's going on here?" You can't go, "Oh, well, Tina and Beth and Aaron, they're the ones who said I should do this," because that cop's going to go, "Who?" And I'm going to say, "I don't know who Aaron is."
Yeah, legal. Do not try this at home or in your life.
Yeah, I've got a lawyer. I am legally indemnified.
I wonder if
from all
any of
this
the
crap.
people on the street have Ring cameras.
Oh, so many
Almost
of them.
all of them.
I know.
Yeah.
Why don't you drive down that street or walk down that street again and look?
Oh my gosh.
I should.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's pretty risky. I'm glad it was only 30 seconds because there's so many things that could just go really wrong with that. That would be a little bit frightening. But then I'm thinking, my brain's so sick. I'm like, well, if she ends up in the jail, then she could just be free use there, right? She can just agree.
Oh my God. No, I don't know about that.
It's like you could be very popular there.
I don't know. Have you seen the people at Harris County lockup?
Yeah, not for a long time.
That are at that late at night?
Yeah.
I mean, I would definitely say don't try that I don't know.
Yeah.
It was hot, but it was also like more of a joke. I don't know.
Was he freaking out when you did it?
No. He was like totally fine.
Oh my gosh.
I was the one who was like more worried. I guess, I don't know.
Also, don't do this in a city where you know people.
Oh,
where
that
your
I
job
could care.
is.
I don't really care.
Do it
that
on
much.
vacation. Do it somewhere that like.
I mean, who am I going to see at like midnight that was like kind of around the corner from where you are.
Yeah, I figured.
So.
Yeah, I don't know. I run into people I know all the damn time. So, yeah. But okay, I'm glad it worked. I'm glad it was fun. I can imagine on the sidewalk or next to your car or something. I've definitely gotten carried away.
Yeah.
Like leaning up against a car and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't imagine in the middle of the street though, because really I'd be worried about idiots just running through a stop line and barreling into me and something. And that would not do. But
yeah,
anyway.
my first instinct would be like, let's go hide behind the fence or something where, at least I have a heads up. I can see the shadow of the lights reflecting before they come. So if somebody just turns down the street, they're not like, oh, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, because I've been in a car with a guy standing next to the car door, and then he's got the car door kind of shielding on one side, and then he can angle himself, and that way then he can look around. And yeah, we've definitely had some oral
or
fun
if you really
that
want to
way.
do it in front of a crowd, go to Bourbon Street. Nobody's getting arrested for that shit there.
Oh,
I've watched it happen.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'd say just go to there's so many different swingers clubs and things like that. So,
in his car.
or gotten in the car. Yeah. But,
good for you. Yeah. That sounds like fun.
very cool. Okay. So would your guy would he agree to be free use for others?
I don't think so.
Oh.
I mean, I can't see it, but maybe. I don't think so. But
Because I think those are basically also orgies, right? That used to be the thing. You just all go and then
I've
everybody.
never been to an orgy. Why are you looking at me?
Oh. I'm just assuming you know these things. I don't know. Sometimes you surprise me. But I think that's generally the idea. And again, that's like what they do in a mini version at the swingers clubs is that one area. So an orgy, you would go and kind of agree. And then I think generally there that people are pretty open about the participation and stuff like that once you get
But see,
within
then
a
you're
certain
already
area.
in a sexual environment. Like
Yes,
a lot of these
right, it is
clips and
sexual.
stuff are just like everyday things. Like, hey, I'm washing the dishes. Like, go for it, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Or I'm reading a book, or I'm playing a video game. Like,
But so those are more private.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
But I think it's
That
like
would work.
this is I'm lucky. There's almost never a time I don't want it. This is from the article. I have to be really emotionally out of whack to say no. That makes free use element pretty easy. So I think this is also for people who maybe are like have higher libidos or like stuff like that. Because not everyone can just be like all the time.
Yeah.
Let's do it, or I'm into it,
Right. Or they want warm up or something like that. So, and I think that there's probably some pleasure in somebody wanting you all the time. Like no matter what you're doing or something like that, to be desired is something that all of us really want and look forward to. So I guess in that sense, it rewards that too, that people are constantly wanting you.
yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. I think I like the idea of it being more public. The idea of it just being in in private doesn't really do that for me, in part because I want the warm up. I need so much more than just to be just fucked. But to do it sometimes just for my partner's pleasure would be okay if that was just part of it. And then there were other times when I got it. I don't know. It doesn't.
I like the idea, but you definitely have to have. I think two people have to be like willing to do this. It's not just like a one person. Have to be up for all this all the time, or generally sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting.
It's a good fantasy, though. I think.
Yeah, I
Great
figured you'd like
fantasy.
that.
Yeah. Interesting, and definitely something I haven't heard of in like a fully like definable way as this.
All right. So I think before we sign off here and stuff, I think what I want to know is I'd love to know from each of y'all, and I'll share mine too. How would we want this free use to appear specifically in our lives where in a way that we would enjoy it? I think that would be fun. So, all right.
I mean, that's gonna take up a whole episode for all that time because I'll just list everything.
Okay. Well, list just a few.
Okay.
List just a
Fair
few.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think that's, what's going to get us turned on.
Okay. Well, before we get there, if you're listening, first off, thank you for listening. But if you want to reach out to us, especially with your ideas of free use, or if you've actually, this is obviously becoming popular enough that people are trying it. If you've tried it or you are still doing it, good on you. Let us know. You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at Come With Us Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at Come With Us Pod, or you can email us, comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. It's comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. DMs are open. Send us anything you want, and we'll be happy to read it, and maybe we'll even share it in another episode. While you're listening to, make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast so you get the new episode downloaded to your inbox every Wednesday. And especially if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, go and leave us a 5-star review as a rating, and or leave us a 5-star rating and then give us a review and let people know what you like, because the more reviews we get, the more people will see it, and the more popular we'll become. And, well, we can talk a lot more sex stuff.
Yay!
So, yeah. All right. So, back to you with this. I mean, how much time you got, kind of. You want to be part of free use.
Oh, I like this. Okay, well, then you start. So give us the top, I don't know.
I mean, as
5.
a guy,
Yeah.
if I'm playing video games and, like, my wife came over and just, like, grabbed my dick out of my shorts, go for it. Like, I'm all for that. I don't care.
Okay.
If I'm...
That would feel good to you. It's not just
Yeah.
that you don't care. It's that it would actually be affirmative, like, this is hot. You'd keep playing your video game, and she would blow you, fuck you,
Whatever.
stroke you,
Yeah.
any of the above. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be one. I mean...
I think that's a very popular one. I'm thinking there are tons of guys that would love that.
Yeah, I mean, we
Yeah.
talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like, if she woke me up with it, cool.
Yeah?
That too. Like, woke me up, like, just either playing with my junk or morning head, whatever. Like, that would work.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of, like, obviously, like, while I was going to the bathroom, no, because that's weird to me. Or while I'm working and, like, doing something physical with my hands, like working with tools, like fixing something around the house or mowing the lawn or something like that, obviously, no. But
Okay.
other than that, like...
I'm picturing somebody on a ladder now, like repairing something and just being on the other side of the ladder and just kind of playing with their cock. I'm thinking actually that might be kind of fun.
I have a feeling I'd fall off the ladder.
Yeah, that's why it would be fun. It would take some control to ignore it and to continue on doing what you were doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the part that,
Interesting.
again, that's the brain stuff, the power stuff that
Yeah.
turns me on. What about while you were cooking?
I'd be okay with it depending on what I'm cooking. Like, if I'm cooking, like, something like bacon or something that's going to have a grease element to it, I'd be kind of worried that it would, like, because that's why, like, I don't cook that kind of stuff naked. Like, because, no. Bacon grease burn on your dick, that would, no. No,
Okay,
thank
what
you.
if you're on the phone and you're doing a work call?
Actually, yeah, I think that'd be hot.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And you think you could keep it together
Probably
so that
not,
you could...
but
Oh, that's funny.
I know how to mute my phone rapidly. It's not difficult.
Yeah.
So...
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
I mean, that's the benefit of this technology, is that now there's mute buttons on everything, so you can be in the middle of a phone call, put it on speakerphone, put it on mute, and just go to town, and then just make sure that you're paying attention when they go, "Hey, Aaron, what do you think?"
Well, yeah, unless
Aaron,
it's a two-way...
Aaron,
like,
where are you? Oh, God, sorry, guys, I had you on mute. Why are you out of breath? Well, don't worry about it. I just ran back from the other room. So, I mean,
love that. But could you participate in a conversation at the same time as you were getting, being fondled, stroked, blown?
I have no idea.
Ooh. Okay,
That
there's
would-
a challenge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to say yeah I could, because I work in radio, and the crux of the job is you have to be able to hear from 4 different elements at 4 times and know and be able to comprehend at least 3 of those elements. So I have a feeling I might be able to, but it's never come up enough that I'd be confident that I could definitely do it.
Okay. All right, I hope your wife tries. I hope she tests you in
We'll
this
see.
regard. Yeah.
We'll see.
And wait, before we go back, actually, we never followed up from our have I ever game from that show. Mm-hmm. Weren't you supposed to do something? Speaking of challenges,
I was supposed to.
you haven't done that?
No.
Oh, you have to do it by next time.
Okay. Do you know how many times I've masturbated since then?
No.
Like twice.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm too fucking busy.
Oh my
That's what happens when you work
gosh.
80-something hour weeks.
Oh my gosh. I would think if you're working that much, you'd really need to self-pleasure.
I don't have time.
You always have 3 minutes. You always 3 to 5
It's another
minutes.
5-minute cleanup, and that's 8
Not
minutes
if you do
out
it in
of
the shower. You take a shower every day.
Yes, but I shower late at night right before I have to go to bed to be up at work at 3:30 in the morning. So
Yeah, so then it's
not
like a
worth
good way to
the-
go to sleep.
How does it take
No.
5 minutes to clean up?
Because it's just messy.
Oh my god. Okay, I don't understand that. It takes like 30 seconds.
No, because you end up like rinsing the lube and stuff off, and then you got to wash your hands, and then you got to dry, and then you got to let your... So after you jack off, and you like, if you just rinse off in the sink, you still have to let your dick dry, because if not, then it's like putting on underwear while you're already sweaty, and it's gross.
Can't you just use a towel to dry your dick? Just like...
Yeah, but then it's still not 100% dry.
Oh my goodness.
Because it's still
complicated.
sensitive, so you're...
Too complicated.
Whatever.
Oh
Y'all
my
can make
gosh.
fun of me all you want. I don't care. You don't have a dick. You don't get to
self-pull.
you don't
You need
get to
to
weigh
come
in.
more. You need to come more. All right. Okay, Tina, what about you? What aspects, how would you most enjoy the self-use? Turn your sexy imagination on and tell us.
Just doing everyday stuff. That would
Like
definitely
while you're
be mine.
working?
Yeah, working, like watching sports or like a show.
Wouldn't that... I feel like it would piss you off while you're watching sports. Because you'd get distracted. And you want to watch the game.
I have watched sports many times while riding dick.
Okay.
And stop.
I feel like that would distract you from the game, and you're more worried about what's going on in the game.
Yeah, it's probably true.
That's so funny. Yeah, she's somebody who would stop in the middle of
I have hit
fucking.
multiple
Just
sports bets while fucking and like completely just forgot what I was doing.
Oh my
'Cause I
gosh.
was so happy. So
Wow.
it happens.
There you go. Okay, what about if you were eating?
Yeah, I don't know about eating unless like it was like the food was part of it. You know, like honey or what people do.
Well, like, what if he woke up after you and you're sitting at the table eating breakfast and he came over and just started going to town on you while you're eating oatmeal?
Well, I don't eat breakfast or oatmeal, but okay.
Whatever.
Would you just go respect the exercise?
No.
Jesus.
I don't know if I'd like that. It'd probably have to be more something like sedentary, like not eating, I guess.
What if while you were getting ready to go out for the night, like you're doing your
that's
hair
it.
in the mirror or
Yeah,
your makeup
yeah.
in the mirror?
Yeah, all of those. I don't think
Alright.
there's like a certain time or yeah, I don't know if I'd like the eating one, but
What if you were peeing?
no, that has happened
No,
for
not-
sure. That's happened, but I don't know. It's just
Some people get turned on by
I mean
this
the
and stuff.
pee thing
And-
isn't my thing, but
well, but you could be sitting down on a toilet peeing, and somebody
I know,
is just
it's
like putting their
definitely-
cock
it's
between your
happened.
boobs.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
so I mean, it's
sure.
not like they're
dudes do that like more often, I think, than
Yeah.
people think.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in a minority. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, any sort of like regular activity, working would definitely be a good one, especially you work from home and stuff. You know, like in public, so, to a degree.
Yeah.
But
Clearly, you like the risk taking.
yeah, the risk. Yeah, there's obviously some adrenaline.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hotels like pushed up against a wall, a mirror, a window.
Oh yeah.
You know.
In the hallway, in the elevators.
Yeah, all that kind of good stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't think of like a single. I mean, I've done a lot of these, so I'm just trying to like think from memory. I obviously am not in a free use relationship, but I would say
Are you
like
going to be now?
no, I don't think so. I mean, I like the idea, but also, again, I'm not like somebody who always wants it. You know, there are times when I don't. So,
But your partner doesn't want it all the time either. So
yeah, so I'm
it
saying
might
like
work.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all
but
should try it for
but
a
it's
few
hard.
days or next weekend.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know.
We have enough sex that I feel like it's free use anyways. I mean, we've had sex in like so many places in Houston, around Houston, or like
Yeah, and y'all are so
done.
new that you're not saying
Yeah.
no to each other anyway. So it
Yeah.
is kind of a.
it is kind
yeah.
of like, I wouldn't say like we're not totally free use, but we're not generally, you know, the types of people who are going to say no most of the time. But
Yeah.
I get it, you know. It's also, you know, we don't live together, so we generally only see each other on the weekends when we don't have other shit to do, like work and stress and all that other stuff. So, like, I could definitely see the guy I'm dating now. He's like he's kind of like you, Aaron. He's like very organized. You know, when he works. Like, he's just, you know, and I could see him being like annoyed that I would try and do something.
Interrupt his workflow.
Interrupt his flow or something like that, especially if it was like a work call or something. But
Yeah.
like, I've seen these videos on TikTok. Actually, it's like a trend where women, like, who are not like in the view of their husband's or boyfriend's Zoom call or whatever, and then they come in and like topless or naked, and then they film his reaction. And it's usually like obviously pretty funny, but
Yes.
they must know that this is the type of person to like. I'm not sure I could do that and it would be totally okay. Like it wouldn't cause like issues. So, you know.
Yeah. I've definitely dated guys who very much got off on the working while fondling me or being fondled or getting something and having to maintain conversations and things like that. Like totally get off on that. That just ups their thrill and pleasure.
Yeah. See, this is where I think your boyfriend and I are different, is that I would, like, it would piss him off while he's in the middle of like a phone conference meeting. It wouldn't, because I don't take work serious enough. Like I
know he doesn't take work
I prioritize sex over work any day of the week. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think and I don't know that it's just about that, because I've been with people who are very, very, you know, almost workaholics, right? That are seriously invested in their work and their careers. But I think it's something about being at the very same time this professional, successful, quote, gentleman, you know, and then at the very same time, you're being your most banal, primal self and indulging in this sexy activity. So it's this, I don't know, masquerade or dance that I think is exciting, not necessarily the commitment to the work or not.
Yeah.
I'm also, I don't know, like, I think it depends what you do, like what position you hold in whatever you're doing. Like, do you feel like you're, you know, at the bottom of the totem pole? If you mess up, like you're gonna, you know, like you take them, or are you more of like I
don't think that matters, because I know a lot of people who work like in the mailroom and stuff, and they're busy fucking people on the copier. They're busy doing this and that, you know. So again, I think it's more the personality than it is the role that they are in, because I think that at high, low, and medium, it's just a question of who you are and whether that's a little bit of a thrill for you to be looking like one thing while acting like another thing. So
yeah, maybe it's a multitasking issue.
That too.
Like an ADHD kind of thing. Like if it's somebody who knows that, like, the second you distract me with anything, let alone, you know, sex, like I'm not going to be able to get things done. Versus like, yeah, I can pay attention to multiple things at once. Ain't no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Because there are certainly times where I would like not want to. It's it took me so much effort to get to this point of concentrating. I need to now finish it or I'll never come back to it.
Yeah.
Versus sometimes where it's like, oh, sure, what the hell? I can, you know, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. But for me, I think the idea of free use is, again, because the BDSM, the kinky stuff. But I love the idea of servers and stuff. So you could have like this fancy dinner, and then there'll be maids, servers, whatever, that are serving the meal, and they're free use. So anybody who's there can be reaching and grabbing and touching and stuff like that. And to me, that's kind of a kinky fantasy. I haven't done that, but it turns me on. What can I say?
It's like a haunted house. You know, when you go and they touch you and come out of nowhere.
Yeah, but they're trying to scare you. This is
That's what that would.
Yeah,
that's
she's more imagining like she's sitting there, or like, you know, the waiter comes over and like to refill her glass, and she's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, when you're done with that, lick my pussy."
Yeah, no, I'm picturing
or the opposite way around.
Exactly,
but yes,
exactly. That everybody's groping me and stuff. Because I but frankly, that could be if I was sitting at dinner and there were a bunch of really good looking guys serving and stuff, I probably could get off if I knew they were into it and stuff, and it was like a flattery and teasing. Yeah, like patting their ass and something like that, or asking them, "Oh, can you bend over and pick up my napkin?" or something silly and fun. Yeah, that would actually just kind of amuse me and would be kind of silly fun.
Well, that's kind of like those shows in Vegas. You've been to those. Ridiculous Thunder from Down Under, where they like, you know, they do interact with the audience.
I know. To me, that's so forced, and But anyway, there are some hot guys there. That's for damn sure. So I think it's just that I want them to be as into me as I'm into them, kind of thing, or something, or not to pretend to be. If they're gay men and they're not into me, that's okay. I just don't want them to pretend to be into me, because that makes me feel stupid. That's all. I just want to be authentic in terms of that. So if some guy, you know, is serving, and they weren't into me, but I still was like, oh, I'm going to touch your ass just because I want to. It may not turn you on, but it's going to turn me on. I could probably, I could kind of get into that for a little bit. Yeah.
Interesting.
Sorry. Yeah, no, I'm picturing this. Yeah, naked dinner parties. Mm-hmm.
Why don't you talk to your swinger friends and set one up at the swingers club?
I could.
They would do something like that. I have a feeling.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Oh,
but
yeah. No. I have lots of people that would be totally happy and enjoy doing that. So, yes, that would be tons of fun.
There you go. Free use night at the swingers club. The Swingset or whatever the fuck it's called.
There you go. That's it. In Colette's is the nice one in Houston that I really like.
There's got to be a swingers bar in the country that's called the Swingset.
There's a podcast that talks about life on the swing set.
No, but there needs to be a bar called the Swingset.
Yeah, there probably is. I don't know that one. So anyway, okay.
This is
now
if you open up a
picturing-
bar and call it the Swingset, then you owe me some money, please.
Yeah,
Not even a
right.
lot, just a little bit.
How about just an invitation to come and free beers?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
free beer. Yeah,
Huh?
we'll deal with that.
Okay. I
Okay,
mean,
fair
feel
enough.
free to send us money too. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is good. I'm going to go picture. Yeah, maybe we'll have to set up basically a sexy semi-naked dinner party. Or if any of y'all do that, then tell us about it and let us know how it goes, because that would be kind of fun. So, all right. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining us. I don't know. It certainly got me hot and heavy and turned on. I'm Beth Darling, your sexy genius from sexyedschool.com. And again, go to sexyedschool.com and use the promo code podcast for 20% off any and all courses. The Blow His Mind, Art of Orally Pleasuring Her, or for men, how to increase your orgasm by up to 10 times with a Naris prostate massager. So all that at sexyedschool.com. Thanks again for joining us. We are the Come With Us podcast. Everything you need when you want the bare naked truth about love, sex, and relationships. Aaron and Tina, thank you so much for all of this, and I'll see everybody next week. Big hugs and love.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Come With Us podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media at Come With Us Podcast and send in your questions, comments, and confessions to comewithusconfessions@gmail.com. Until next time, keep it fun, flirty, and naughty.